Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back.
Good morning, and it's Thursday. Why did you stop doing your cool moves right when the camera came on? That was, It's Run It Back. Thursday is our Friday, which means once we're done here, everyone scrambles and runs off to their parts of the world, which means the next hour will be the greatest hour of our lives. Stadium insider Shams Charania to my right, very serious. He's about to break some news. Chandler Parsons wearing pants. Lou Will on the end. My name's Michelle, and just like yesterday, today's show will start with not actual basketball, but basketball-adjacent stories. Draymond Green, the suspension came out indefinitely. What does that mean?
Indefinitely means that he needs to go through a process before he can get back onto the court. And I'm told that's going to include Draymond Green going through counseling. That includes him expecting to meet with a therapist. It's indefinite because he has to show the league that he's learned from this. This is the fourth major incident, the third major incident on the court that he's had over the last year. You talk about the punch, you talk about the stop, you talk about the chokehold, you talk about the arm swing. These four events that have happened, it could be, what I was hearing yesterday, it could be anywhere between 8 to 12 games. That was the thought throughout the day. It could be anywhere near that. Could it be more? Could it be a little less? Potentially. It all just depends on how this process goes. We've seen repeated actions. It's a pattern of behavior from Draymond Green. And the league landing on something that I think the Warriors have understood for a little bit now, that Draymond Green needs help. He needs to sort through whatever it is that he's going through. And the league basically deemed that this was unacceptable to happen. He's done it over and over, and at what point does he actually understand?
So there's no minimum. It's not like, well, it's at least this many, but there's not. It's just whatever they
There's
decide.
no minimum, but I
Gotcha.
think there's a belief around the Warriors. There's a belief around Draymond Green to an extent that this is not going to be something that's just a few games.
Gotcha.
This is going to be something that could go on for at least 2 weeks. This could be something that goes on for the foreseeable future here. Because think about it, you're not just going to go through therapy or counseling, or if you're saying you're going to go through that and just automatically.
Well, the last case was 5, so I'm just guessing it'd at least be double that.
At least 10. All right. What do you think about this approach? Do you like it?
To me, it's similar to the John Morant situation, right?
Yeah.
Where they don't really know what to do yet, so they're saying indefinitely to let him get time to better himself, right? This isn't about basketball anymore, Draymond Green. This is about him becoming a better person. This is about him bettering himself, becoming a better man, maturing, figuring out whatever anger or emotional issues he has, right? So this is a time for him to really look in the mirror. Again, he's a family man. He's a father. This put basketball on the back seat now. Figure out like your life, your attitude, your well-being, because this is bigger than basketball. This is now becoming a part of your life. This is part of your reputation. This is way bigger than basketball. So whatever he is going through, he needs to get the proper help. And I don't think Adam knows, okay, this many games he's going to learn a lesson, or that, we're going to make an example out of him, or this is his 5th or 6th offense, whatever it is. That doesn't matter. He's not going to play basketball for a really long time, I think. But he needs, personally, he needs to be better. He's a role model. He's a leader. There's expectations with that, and the examples he's setting all around the world are, not okay.
I'm almost out of opinions about this thing. I just feel like we are at a point where Draymond should hold himself accountable for his actions. I'm hearing that he needs to get help and this and that. I don't know about that part, because he's very cognizant of the decisions that he's making out on the basketball floor. Yeah. And these are intentional acts, and it's starting to get kind of weird. You know what I mean? And so I just hope he does better when he gets back.
Yeah, like think about how smart of a basketball player he is, right? He's not the best player ever, but he's going to the Hall of Fame because how he mastered his craft, which means he's a brilliant guy. He knows defensive schemes, coverages, offensive sets. He knows how to get Steph Curry and Klay Thompson the ball. Like, he's a smart guy. So like Lou said, what he's doing, this is on purpose. This is a problem that he has that he's got to fix, because it's not just going to get better, right? And this isn't part of, this is how he plays. He plays with so much fire and energy. Like, no, now it's an issue, right? And it's not the financial part that's going to fix it. I think he's missing $155,000 every game he misses. It's not about that. Clearly he doesn't care. He gets suspended every year. He gets the most technical fouls in the NBA, so it's not about the money. This is something that he's got psychologically that he needs to fix, or at least show steps that he's improving.
Do you think because I found it interesting that both Kevin Durant and Nurkic after the game both said, I hope he gets the help. Like you don't hear that
no
very
one
often.
understands like how is this happening?
Because what sane person would
Is doing
do
that.
this multiple times? You know what I mean? And so Nurkic, I think, was almost making a joke about it, like thinking he didn't choke me out. Kevin Durant knows him.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant was in that locker room. He personally has his phone number, right? And he's at a loss. Like, what the hell is going on with this guy? So when it gets to that point, now it's okay. Now it's scary. Now this can trickle into your real life. Now this can trickle off the floor. Then you got a real problem. So it needs to get under control. And again, it sounds, you got to take away basketball. It's his life. That's what he does. So like that's the last step, in my opinion, where they really have to go lengths here to help him improve. And it's not malicious, not trying to burn him, not trying to ruin his career, his legacy. They have to do this because he's literally he's a repeat offender multiple times.
Multiple times. If you're the Warriors, I mean, obviously the league has stepped in right now, but you are the team that employs him, and you can also do what you need to do. How do you handle him moving forward?
I think this is a sensitive day-by-day situation. I think you reevaluate what's going on in the next couple of weeks. After everything cools down, I guess, due to counseling or whatever they're saying that the help he's going to get, see what's the attitude like once he come back around the group and see if they can get over this hump and kind of fix these things. But for me, it may be time to address bigger issues as a whole.
Yeah, and I think it's got to be tough love for them. I think it's stay away from the team. You're suspended indefinitely. Come to the gym, get your workouts in, stay in shape, because this isn't going to last for the rest of the season, right? But this is a situation where now they're his family, right? Those are his brothers. You can't just keep putting a Band-Aid on it. This is a real problem.
Draymond Green's been around the team over the last 24 hours. He's with the team right now in Los Angeles, and I think the backdrop to all this that we're seeing is, to me, this tug of war that's going on between the past and the present with the Warriors, because you have a couple young guys, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski. Those are two talented players I think they feel very strongly about moving forward with in their rotation, playing significant minutes. That's a guard and that's a forward.
All right.
And my sense is Jonathan Kuminga is expected to be the starter moving forward in the absence of Draymond Green, and probably even beyond that. And his situation has been a sign of significant tension within those Warriors, because they understand that he needs to play a lot, but they have players like Draymond Green, like Andrew Wiggins in front of him in the rotation. At least they have for the last several weeks. Well, now you have an opening. He's played better the last 5 or so games. He's the centerpiece of what they have going from a youth perspective. I think Steve Kerr has wanted as much as he can. I said yesterday, there's a sense around the Warriors, there's a sense, I think, in the basketball community, you want these guys, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, just ride off into the sunset. And with that, Andrew Wiggins, I think Steve Kerr has been a guy that he wants to give them every opportunity to do it.
Right.
But now I think you have to make the best decision for the organization, and that means going with Jonathan Kuminga moving forward.
Is there a world in which he keeps that spot even when Draymond comes back? Is that possible?
1,000%.
All right,
Yeah.
it's on the board.
And again, he's given Steve Kerr no other options, right? Like, you're now taking yourself out of the lineup, off the team, because of self-inflicted incidents over and over again. So now there's no choice. You see the decline in this dynasty, right? You see Klay Thompson's struggles. You see Draymond Green doing all this nonsense. You have to start developing Kuminga. You have to develop Moody. You have to start throwing Sarge in there and plan on him being your starting power forward, or Kuminga, for the rest of the season, because you can't keep doing this in and out thing. It's more of a distraction than a help. So to me, it's tough. Shams, do you try and get off these guys? Like, they chose Draymond too. Like, what more do you want, right? They paid you, not Klay. They picked you over Jordan Poole. They've given you everything. So, like, what more do they have to do for you to behave and play basketball?
And I think that's one of the unfortunate things about this Draymond situation is now we have so much turbulence. Do we start the process of addressing everything? Do we start addressing the Klay Thompson?
Okay.
Do we start addressing his struggles? Do we start addressing
Awkward.
Draymond going through these things behaviorally? So, like, this is tough, because this makes me think of when Kobe asked for a trade back in the day, and he had his championship runs with the Shaq era. They retool for him, they regroup, get rid of everybody that was there before that, and put another group around him to give him an opportunity to have another championship run. So do the Golden State Warriors start looking in that area where, we'll keep Steph and see if we can, kind of unload these guys, bring in some other all-stars, some big-time talents, and see if we can give him an opportunity to compete at a high level again.
Every day that goes by, this window of prime Steph Curry, LeBron, it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So if they are going to do that, you got to start pursuing it now because literally Draymond Green is forcing their hand to do it earlier than we expected.
And I know Steph Curry wants to retire as a Golden State Warriors. There's nowhere else. There's nowhere else he wants to be. And so, like Lou said, like as an organization, that's what they've done, right? The last couple of years is try to put as many veteran players around Steph Curry so that he has every opportunity to win. And this year went out and got Chris Paul. They traded Jordan Poole and multiple first picks and all these different things to go get Chris Paul. And still,
but I think even Draymond forced that hand. If there was no incident there, if he wasn't such a bad chemistry in the locker room because of the incident with guess who, they don't do that. Do you think Chris Paul is that big of an upgrade on Jordan Poole? Like, from where you know what I mean? Like, so that's not like a championship move for them. That's another tactic that Draymond Green got his way, and they had to do that because of Draymond.
Man, I did not see this dynasty playing out this way. It's kind of a crazy thing. Our next story.
Well, that's the worst part too. Is it doesn't have to be over. They can.
No.
It's kind of like the players are expediting.
Yeah, they're controlling their own future, and like they're expediting it. They are literally. Everyone's talking about ending, and they keep saying Clay's getting pissed off at the media, saying we're not done. Draymond, same thing. But then you do stuff like this that's forcing them to make moves and suspend you. So it's mind-blowing.
It's probably frustrating if you're a Warriors fan, especially. Another game that happened last night. A lot going on in this one. Pacers-Bucks. Bucks win this. It's a high-scoring ridiculousness. Giannis, career high, 64 points, franchise record. He 20 of 28, took 32 free throws. That was the most points in a game with fewer than 30 field goal attempts. But it is after the game where things got weird. I'm so confused by the whole thing. Pacers allegedly took the game ball. Giannis was furious, goes to the Pacers locker room to get it. Obviously, he wants it. He had 64 points. It's a big deal. Big exchange going on here between Giannis and Halliburton. Look, he said eventually he got a ball, he said. He does not feel like it was the actual game ball. I think this is the weirdest story. Chandler, I don't know what to make of any of it.
Yeah, I don't know where to start with this, right? Because we were talking about this before. When you have 64 points of franchise record and it's in your home building, that's your ball.
Right?
And the Pacers, I know Rick Carlisle, and he's pissed off, whether it's because they were running up the clock or whether he was just frustrated with how the game ended or how it went. But he's mad. Him talking about the GM's bruised ribs and stuff. I've seen this song and dance in Dallas before, and he's pissed. So to me, initially, this looked like a bitter, butthurt move. And all you got to do is watch the tape. They said that coach or that staff member, he goes and gets the ball. It seemed like he had a little extra bit of hot bill pep in his step going to get that ball, right? And I know the rookie, the Shibwe, it was his first point, which I disagree with him the first time, but he scored in the in-season championship.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. We can get to that.
83rd game, whatever. But this, to me, looked like frustration. This looked like they were pissed off. They were butthurt, and they wanted to take the ball and they wanted some little beef here. But at the same time, I understand Giannis. This is a huge game. We're talking about this right now instead of how dominant he was. The guy could have had 75 points if he made his free throws. It was unbelievable performance, and he deserves that ball. To me, it's like, but if you don't like it, like stop him. Like I get it. They run up to score. It can be disrespectful, but like don't foul him. Like do something about it. Don't complain after the ball and take your ball and go home.
I like it. We're living in a point differential world. I'm all for it. It goes on forever. But Lou, take us through us civilians. The importance of this ball, the fact that he thinks maybe it's not the actual game ball. Like all of this just sounds silly to us.
I think it was just a perfect storm for a lot of antics, right? Giannis had a career high game. That's worthy of having the game ball. And then you have a rookie or a two-way player guy that scores his first 2 points, and that is also a major milestone. In my career, I've chased down a many of game balls.
How many do you think you have?
At least 20.
How many?
No, this is the thing. Chandler, this is the thing. Your first 2 points in the NBA, that is a milestone.
All right.
You work your entire life to begin your career to have your first 2 points. That is a basketball worth having. And so I remember numerous occasions where, as a vet, we're chasing that basketball down for a younger guy so he can feel that love and feel like he belongs in the NBA. And so I think with everything going on, it got caught up in a perfect storm, and we saw a lot of antics. We saw Giannis' brother act like he wanted smoke, which we know for a fact.
You mean grabbing his teammate and purposely getting held back?
Yeah, like, stop it. If you really want to protect your brother and be a part of that, there's no amount of money, there's no teammate shoulder grab can stop
And
you
go
from
out there.
doing
You
it.
know Giannis is going to pay the fine anyways. Go protect your brother if you really want to
Go protect your brother. And so
False hustle.
For people that's outside of those locker rooms that don't really understand the fuss about the basketball, that is a really big milestone for each and every NBA player. And I just think it was two people that deserved the game ball that night, and we saw how it played out.
It's made me realize that my first point was a free throw in San Antonio, and I got in the game because we were down like 25, but
Fair.
I didn't get the ball. My vets didn't
I made
care.
sure of that. That's,
Yeah, you were
that was
there.
something
You were
I was-
hating. You were the guy that ran out on the court and took my ball.
Wait, so you don't have your game ball for your first NBA point, but you have.
I do. Mine was a reverse layup against Yao Ming. I got that ball.
Oh, you gotta have that.
That's a good one. See, that's bad.
I
That's
banked in a free throw down 30. I don't think I want the ball,
It's not
actually.
the same thing.
My
I guess.
apologies.
How about the fact that, I mean, the announcers were kind of mad that the score was being run up. You mentioned Rick Carlisle probably wasn't happy about it, but it wasn't a normal sort of a situation. The guy had 60, 62. He was going for something
You
here.
got to go for it.
Can you be mad
Stop
at that?
him.
Yeah,
You
right?
can't be in. Look, he's 64 and 14, 20 and 28 for the field. Like I said,
stop
he
him.
missed 6 or 8 free throws. The guy had a historic game, right? So like me and Lou were saying, if you have a problem with it, double team him, trap him, stop him, foul him, do something. Don't go out here. And by the way, I believe him that the guy went and took the rookie's ball, because that's a quick lie to kind of like, you know,
Even
that's
we
an
can't go over
unbelievable clapback. To be like, no, a rookie scored, so it kind of makes sense. But I see both sides. But it was a little dramatic.
And let's be clear. Milwaukee warned them from the in-season tournament. Dame said, "I want my lick back." When they were styling on him and it's my
That's
time
fair.
now and doing it, they warned them, "We are looking forward to this game and we want our lick back and we want to embarrass
Yeah,
you."
he said
and that's what you saw. You saw a guy get sick. At 48, we're fouling you, bro.
Yeah.
And if you're not gonna make free throws, if you shot 30, you're gonna have to shoot 40 if you want this 60.
Yeah.
Stop him.
Dame said it. Tyrese, enjoy your moment. It's not always going to be your moment. Last night was Giannis's moment, and he wanted the game ball.
By the way, they do meet again twice, January 1st and 3rd, so that will be fun.
Well, I'm sure we've run out of rookies for game ball, so it's
Right,
cool.
there's
Everybody
nothing.
relax.
I think it's also funny that the last 60-point game was Dame when he had the 71. It's kind of crazy. First of all, the poor rookie, Oscar Tshiebwe, like he's probably sitting there going, I didn't ask for any of this. This is out of control. But more importantly, we learned today that his first point that was technically in the 83rd game of the season didn't count.
See, to me, that counts. You
How?
scored a point in the
I
NBA
guess that's the
game.
same thing as like preseason, right?
I know, but there were 6 million people watching that game on television,
almost-
more than will
yeah,
watch
sure,
any
but
other game.
But if it's the 83rd game and it's technically not
That's
an actual
ridiculous.
game, then you got to. I'm sure he scored in preseason as well. Like,
But no one's
they don't-
watching
To me, it's
preseason.
almost
It
more
doesn't. It don't matter about the watch. It
I
matters
know.
about the
Does
actual.
Does it count on the official stat?
That's
line?
what
The official
that's what I
stat
found
sheet.
If I'm
crazy.
him, I want that ball. That's
Me
my first
too.
In the
actual
in-season tournament or
point.
this?
The in-season tournament. That's my first actual time putting in a real game. I don't care if it's the 83rd game. It's
real
not
game.
preseason. It's actually a bigger game. It's a championship in-season game.
It's an in-season tournament.
That's the
championship
ball.
game.
That's the ball.
I know, but
We don't know how important that game will be down the line.
okay, but from a standpoint of
Probably gave that ball to like AD anyway.
We know it's
Let's be
just
real.
as
a great
big as a
point.
regular season game, though, right? We know it's that big.
more people watch it than are going to watch any
They
of
said it
these.
technically didn't count. It's the 83rd regular
That's
season
the
game.
dumbest thing I've
it's-
ever heard.
Yeah. So, like on his resume, like his career points, they don't give him that point from the
No,
in-season
so like
tournament?
AD's stats, 40, 20.
like a ghost
So
game.
none of the in-season tournament stats
See,
count
that to me
towards
is
your
all.
official.
Just the championship, right? The
So
champ-
AD's
even the
40
championship
points,
doesn't
20 rebounds.
Didn't count.
They don't go
Just
towards
the
his
championship
stats.
game didn't
AD
count,
still
right?
ain't being
I
aggressive.
think that's what
my
it
head hurts.
I don't like that either. I think that's
Yeah,
stupid.
that's ridiculous.
Change that too.
All right, we have a lot of changes. Sean, did you take note to take?
Yeah,
Okay,
I got
get
it.
on that,
I got
please.
it.
Bucks are 17-7. Giannis is averaging 32 and 11. We don't really talk about much in the MVP, and I know it's very early, and I know he's gotten one, and sometimes I think that affects it. Is that what's happening here? We just sort of, we expect him to be great.
I don't think it's about what he's doing. It's what other guys are doing, right? It's the gaudy numbers that Jokic are putting up, the dominant performances Embiid have. When you talk about the best players in the NBA, you can't go very far without saying Giannis and everything he's done. And you look at his numbers; they're outrageous. And their team's going to win. They're going to go far. They're going to be in the home court advantage scenario pretty much every year he's there. So there's no reason to not. It's just these guys. There's so much talent. It's so deep now. It's hard. You got to be electric every single night, which he is, and still doesn't win the MVP. So it's tough.
Electric. Guys, more basketball on the way. Actual basketball. We will get to Larry Nance Jr. standing by. We'll talk to him next when Run It Back returns.
Nance.
The running back. Run it up.
Ariel.
The running back. Run it up. Run it back. Run it up.
Crush it, ayy. I'm even crushing you if you get in the way.
Oh, very cool, very smooth. 9 seasons in the NBA, currently with the Pelicans. Joining us now, Larry Nance Jr. Larry, I want to get right to it because I know you had the privilege of playing with our very own Lou Will at the Lakers. What do we need to know? What was it like playing with him?
The privilege is right. First of all, appreciate you guys having me on. Lou is like one of my favorite vets ever. One of the coolest teammates. Set me up for a lot of my dunks early on. Hey, look, if you want the ball, you got to make him go right up the screen, because if he go left, he's shooting.
The vet thing, I'm glad you brought it up because you made it very known to us today, Lou. Vets should have taken care of some of the problems that happened on the court last night, but Giannis had the 64. We don't know whether he got the actual game ball or a different game ball. Nobody knows what's going on. But if you were on the Pacers, A, would you have been insulted that they were seemingly running up the score? And B, what do you make of all this whole ball fiasco?
Either they're running to stop him. If you're mad about it, stop him.
Right.
Second, I mean, if it's true that it was a rookie's first point, I got to be honest with you, I do that for every rookie that's on our team. Every rookie that I play with, I try to grab the basketball for their first point. We had Hawkins do it this year, E.J. Liddell, and both of them got their first ball. It's just a special moment, you know?
I like that. I like that you had
I told
to
you,
go. Yeah.
it's a big deal.
The confusion
Very
was he
sentimental.
scored a
It didn't
in-season
count,
championship.
Chandler.
But that was the
Didn't count.
83rd game, so
Which is
technically that
stupid.
didn't count, which I think was where the confusion came from.
Yeah, we are very confused by that. By the way, you guys are in
Points in the in-season tournament don't count?
the
Not the
championship
championship,
game.
because it's the 83rd game.
See, that's
It's stupid.
Okay, if players don't know
that's
that,
stupid.
That was his first point,
Listen,
not last
the
night.
in-season, nobody knew anything about the
the
in-season
rules,
tournament.
with so many rules.
We're learning. We're still learning.
All right, is this true? You guys are in the nation's capital. Did you buy 70 tickets for this game?
Yeah, Najee had 70, and then Hawk had a few as well. But again, that's another thing you're supposed to do for your rookies.
Dang.
When they play their first game at home, one of the older guys on the team is supposed to take care of them. So
We taught you well, man.
That's awesome.
We taught you well, man.
you guys taught me well. UB Bass, Big Roy. I had some good vets. Nick didn't
what's
teach
up.
me nothing, but
Y'all have never done anything nice for anybody here. That's good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Larry.
I'm the rookie.
You've been out with a right rib fracture. How are you? When can we expect to see you back on the floor?
I'm good. I'm a physical player, so playing with a broken rib is a bit tough. But no, I'm coming along. It's healing, and probably week and a half, 2 weeks. I tried to play through it at first, and setting screens and fighting through screens and boxing out just wasn't going too well.
Larry, your squad right now is at 14-11, 9th in the Western Conference. What were expectations coming into this season, and have they changed at all up to this point?
Expectations. We expect ourselves to be in the playoffs. We expect to be a home court team. The last time this team was healthy, was last year, and we were first in the West. Obviously Z is a monster, and Bi is a monster, and CJ's averaged 20 for 11 straight years. So we got guys that can really do it at the highest level. Our biggest issue is health, and so right now it's only me out. But hopefully the next 2 weeks I'll get back, and then we can start picking it up. But expectations have not changed at all. We expect to be in the playoffs.
So Zion obviously takes a ton of heat, whether it's his physical being, whether it's his work ethic. He seems to be getting a lot of it, especially this week. What's it like to be his teammate? Does it affect him? Do you guys say anything? How does it all happen in the locker room when you guys keep hearing these things?
It's tough because obviously, you can't control what the national media says, right? And they're just going to take stories and run with it. That's their job. And anything Z does, anything a star does is always news. Whether he goes to Chipotle after practice, that's a story that someone's going to run with. So No, honestly, we don't see it affect him too much. With this past week, like with everybody talking about it, you could see energy change a little bit, but that's natural. We're only human, and everybody's got social media, so you see it all. But I got to be honest with you, he's been great. He's been great. I love having him as a teammate. He's a real cool dude. We spent a lot of time together on the road. That's my dog.
Your coach, Willie Green, said that he thinks B.I. and Zion are the best duo in the NBA. Agree on that?
Oof, that's
Best
tough.
freaking duo, yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Now, look. When you see every day what these guys do at practice, obviously there's some ridiculous duos, right? Dame and Giannis, probably more proven. Bron and AD, probably more proven. Jokic and Murray just came off a championship. Like there's some freak duos, but these two really have a chance to be one of those two. They just have to embrace it and be ready for it. You can't run from greatness.
And speaking of duos, your teammates, well, Trey Murphy III said he and Jordan Hawkins are the best shooting duo outside of one in the NBA. Now, Larry, don't cap me down now. Do you agree with this?
Look, I'm on one team. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I will say, look, Trey is one of the better shooters I've ever gotten the pleasure to be around. Genuinely, he's got it like that. Hawk, I don't shoot with Hawk at practice, so I don't really see him at practice. But all I know is for a rookie to come in and did what he did, I think he set records 3-point shooting. So and Trey's 23. I mean, if they're not the best, they will be in a year and a half.
Okay.
See, that was perfect.
Thank you for the insight, because I ain't rolling.
Lou's trying to get people in trouble.
You're not rolling? Hold on. If you're not rolling, who's better than them?
No, I'm not rolling because it's to me it's a body of work. Like, it's not based on potentially what you can do. It's not based on a few nice games. Like, this has to be a body of work. It took years for us to recognize Steph and Clay as the Splash Brothers. And so for me, bold statement, very confident statement, not saying that it can't come into fruition, but I think it's a little early to put best in front of your name at anything right now.
Small sample size.
Oh, thanks, Chandler. Glad Chandler chimed in
that.
there with that. You started things out with the Lakers, and you played with Kobe Bryant. When you sort of look back and take stock of your career, where do you hold those memories? What was that like for you?
Oh man, it's hard to top that. Obviously, being drafted to the Lakers is hard. It's hard to top it itself, right? Incredible franchise, and getting to play with Kobe. Obviously, even before everything happened, it was like, I pinch myself sometimes, realizing like I'm really on the court with this man. And then I don't know what it would take. Honestly, I don't know what it would take. I'd probably have to score 60 myself to top his 60-point game. In terms of like moments in my career, that was special. That was special. But those are moments and lessons that I'll never forget, never take for granted. I know Lou feels the same way. Like playing with that guy was just special.
If I'd have known how everything panned out with the unfortunate passing and the timing of that, he actually asked us to play in the last game, and I said no. I told him no. I said, I want to watch just like everybody else. Because he was telling us all week in practice, he was like, I'm going for 60. Like, I'm going to shoot the ball 60 times. He kept telling us, he was like, I'm shooting the ball 60 times. I'm going for 60 in my last game. I'm going to go for it. And he was like, come on, man, y'all play. And we were like, hell no. We want to watch just like everybody else. It's in hindsight, I wish I would have took that opportunity and took the court with him that last time.
Crazy.
Gotta be honest,
I've never
I
heard
appreciate
that
the
story
fact that
before,
you did.
so
No.
that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Larry, you obviously you played in his last game, 60-point game to close out. What do you remember most from that night? I mean, we got this story. I've never heard this story from Lou, but like, what is there anything else memorable that stood out to you?
I mean, all the illegal screens that me and Julius was setting. We was running around edge blocking. I'll tell you what, them refs were not calling. They were not gonna call those fouls. But no, it was crazy. Like, honestly, the biggest thing is just the fact that, like, every practice, every game that he would play, he in the middle of it, after it, he would be wrapped head to toe with ice, like ankles, knees, hips, whatever joint you got, he's got ice wrapped around it. And so the fact that, like, in 20 years into his career, he just reached down somewhere and found 60, just 60 cold ones. I don't know. That takes a special kind of competitor. It really does.
Is it true he told you one time just dunk everything?
That was the first thing he told me. It was funny. Like, we was playing the Hawks, and like, I'm an athletic dude. I came in an athletic dude, and so, like, I always thought, like, I knew I was athletic, but it's the NBA. These guys are bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic. So I tried to, like, finish around Al Horford one time and missed. Try to finish around Paul Millsap one time and missed. And, like, we came to the timeout, and he just grabbed my jersey. He's like, hey, MF, I've seen you at practice. Dunk everything. I don't care who's there. They can't touch you. Dunk everything. And so it's funny, like, one of the very next possessions, I caught in the post, rip middle, and just right on top of them both. And it just, like, that just spurred my career forward. It was, it was a really cool moment because, like, I don't know why I needed to be told, like, hey, like, you can do the same thing you did in college here. But I don't know, him having belief in me was all I needed to just really go do it.
And you also had the opportunity to play with LeBron in his last season in Cleveland. What was the difference like between playing with Bron and playing with Kobe? What are some of the glaring differences you thought you saw between those two guys?
So it's tough, right? Like, I caught Bron smack dab middle of his prime. The 2018 playoff run might have been the best we've ever seen him look. And so then we caught Kobe at 20 years in, his last year in the league. And so just the level of preparation and the level of work put in was different. Obviously, it was kind of a farewell tour for Kobe, and so he was treating it as such. But with Bron, the biggest difference is the fact that, like, no joke, I was on my first contract, so I was getting to the gym every single day, early on, like, on time, just being a young guy, doing what young guys do. Never beat Bron at the gym, not once.
Wow. Not
once. The man was in there, and I don't know if I ever saw him touch a weight. He was always working with the exercise bands and the core, the exercise ball, and, like, these the RX pads for his balance and stuff like that. It was all, like, straight body work. It wasn't a whole lot of weights. The dude's a machine. But obviously, like, for me, I grew up in Akron, Ohio. So playing with Bron in the finals was like, again, unless I score 60 myself or win a ring myself, it's between Kobe and Bron. I don't know what to tell you. Those two are pretty hard to knock off my list.
I've said that publicly as well. Like, I wish I would have played with Kobe at a different time in his career, because we didn't really get that experience. He was dealing with so many injuries. He was in and out of the lineup. It was his last season. It was a farewell tour. Like, we kind of got cheated out of that that experience with Kobe. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
Larry got to see the 51-point game in the finals. What is that when you're watching that unfold? I mean, what are you thinking?
You saw the game 1, 51, 8-8, I think it was, something like that.
Just 51.
Oh, no, it was ridiculous. You don't want to mention my double-double, though. It's fine.
I know.
There's a few other things we didn't mention on that night.
You didn't want to mention my
double-double.
double-double.
I have a whole separate set of questions just about that. Don't worry.
About game 1, there's plenty to ask. I mean, it was dope. Obviously, like, it was still in Oracle. So Oracle Arena was a place that these young guys, I hate for them that they don't get to experience, because that place was...
Oracle was rocking.
Rocking every time. And him going out there 51, 8-8, and then obviously against the Warriors for the third straight year in the finals, like, the storylines behind it was crazy. And then just the way the game ended.
Yeah, can you remind us how it ended? Can you remind us of that?
Tristan got thrown out. You know, we missed the free throw. You know, just a lot of things happened.
Yeah, you missed out.
I missed a few things, but you know, my memory's a little blurry.
You probably missed one of the funniest.
I mean, the funniest
one
one
of
was
the funniest few things.
J.R. Smith has some funny stories, but
It depends on what side. It depends on what side you think it's funny from.
yeah, that's true. How about now that time
It's
has
not
passed?
funny.
Can you laugh yet?
I can laugh, but at the same time, like I can laugh, but like the hurt in that locker room, the sheer hurt we all felt. And it was look, it was not just JR, it was not G Hill, it was not. I mean, I missed a free throw that game. Like it was all of us, but it just at the end, everybody but Brown. But it was like just the locker room afterwards was just, oh man.
Is it silence? Is it just weird silence?
Nah.
Opposite of silence.
They're getting at
Nah,
it.
because if you remember, there was a controversial block charge call. Bron took a charge, I think, on KD, or KD took a charge on Bron, and we thought he was or something happened with we thought he was in the lane or not in the lane or around the charge circle, and that was what the focus conversation was about. When you look around, it was just after that game one, that was that.
That's awkward.
That
is
was
awkward.
that.
Earlier that year, you were also runner-up in the slam dunk competition to Donovan Mitchell. Larry, do you feel like you should have won that? Are you still upset? Do you harbor any feelings for that?
You know what I harbor feelings for? I feel like Donovan. I feel like if minimum there should have been a dunk off, but the fact that I lost didn't bother me because like I know how the NBA works. You know, like it's Donovan Mitchell. Like you want to promote this guy over that guy. I'm cool with that. But the only thing I'm mad about is for the history of the dunk contest. We have had dunkers as judges: Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, Dr. J, Spud Webb. History of dunkers. You know who I got in my dunk contest to tell me how good of a dunker I was?
Ooh.
DJ Khaled, Chris Rock, Mark Wahlberg. What does DJ Khaled know about dunking? So, like, no, I'm not mad that I lost, but
That's not right.
It's a fair
we
point.
ain't the best- we
fair
ain't the
point.
best at judging dunks. Like, I'm sick about it. I really am sick about it.
I did not realize that.
And your dad won
And DJ Khaled snubbed me.
and your dad won a dunk contest. So I gotta ask, who's the better dunker in their prime, you or Pops?
He won a contest, so like the obvious answer
He
I
get the
feel like would
edge.
be him. But I'll tell you what right now though, he's about 3 inches taller than I am.
Oh, see?
He's 6'11" and I'm 6'8". So like, I'm telling you though, if we was playing and I saw him in the lane, I'm not thinking twice. I'm going right up and over.
Larry,
I'm going right up and over.
you've had so
Getting
many
the tech and
bodies,
everything.
so many posters. Do you have like a favorite victim that every time you see him, you're
Victim.
going at him, or do you have a favorite dunk you've ever had?
I think my favorite. So it's funny. I got a funny story about this. My favorite dunk was probably in Brooklyn, early in my career on Brooke Lopez. One of my favorites, just because like
Y'all look good.
I feel like where I took off from was solid. It was solid, right?
I think we
But
got to
it's funny. 'cause-
There it is. Oh,
Yikes.
oopsie daisy.
Yeah, that one's all right. Look, I shot
Even Larry
myself.
knew that was nasty. This was because Brooke Lopez.
Big Maz guy. I forgot all about Big Maz.
A little
Yeah,
crossover
we
back
signed-
then
we signed
too
Miles.
before.
We signed Maz and Dang. Yeah, Bi on the court with me. That's my teammate now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Was I there for that?
But
Timothy
he was, I think he was there for that. That was with Meta. That was Meta. Lou Wall. Yeah. I think he was there for that because
Those are the contracts. Big contracts.
big contracts. But it's funny because that next summer in LA, Brooke Lopez signed as a free agent, and so like we're sitting there in the gym in the summertime, and he walks in, hey guys, nice to meet you, I'm Brooke. And that's exactly how he talks. One of my favorite teammates. One of my favorite teammates ever. But not like hey guys, good to meet you. Everybody's introduced themselves. D'Lo introduced himself. Anthony Brown introduced himself. Julius. And I walked up to him, stuck my hand out like, hey Brooke, Larry, good to meet you. welcome to LA. He just goes, oh no, I know. I met you last year in the air.
In the air.
In the air, yeah. We met in the air last year.
That's really good.
That's funny.
That's a good
It was
way.
a good way to get out in front of it and make a joke because I was definitely about to be making jokes about it all year.
He took it.
You also got KD when he was on the Warriors. That's got to be up there as one of the tops, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot people love this dunk, and this one really didn't do a whole lot for me.
What?
Because
How?
there wasn't a whole lot of contact.
Okay.
I like contact when I dunk. Like I want contact.
You want chest to chest action. Yeah. You want
That's
to go
exactly
body.
what I want. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I want to know that I dunked on you, not around you. And I feel like I dunked around you.
For sure.
Like, okay, that's fair. That's fine.
But that was the 73-9 Warriors. So like that helps it a little bit.
I think that's a big one. This story was one of my favorites, so I never really gotten to ask you about it. But when you were traded, Josh Hart was traded to the Blazers. It was a swap, and then they said that you guys swapped houses, or at least temporary. Like, how does that work? Because I kind of love it.
Yeah, no, it was a good idea.
Great idea.
I say idea. It was a good idea. It wasn't great in execution. It wasn't great in execution. Like,
Is he messy?
I just don't like. I don't have a lot of stuff. Right. I don't have a lot of stuff. Like I'm married. I have a 2.5-year-old girl. And Josh at that point was just had his wife, Shannon. And so like, just very different points in our lives. Right. And so like I had to have room for like for the crib and the nursery and this and this and this. And he did not. And my man stacks things.
He's a hoarder?
Anything from things. I'm telling you, like 17 pairs of gaming headsets stacked on a wall, like 3 gaming chairs. He had a full-blown plug-in sauna where we were supposed to put the nursery at.
This sounds great.
No, he just had stuff. And so, like, I really didn't even end up living there until the next year when he could get all his things out.
I love the idea, though.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It was a great concept. It was a great concept.
It's a business
but
to
like,
run.
I don't think he's doing it again. I'm not doing it again. It saved us some money, but I'll tell you what, it was a hassle.
Yeah.
It was a hassle.
Lesson learned.
Larry, this past
a
summer
fact.
you become a part owner of soccer team Leeds United. What has that been like? How have you enjoyed being involved in something other than a pro basketball team?
No, man, it's funny. I tell anybody that asks, like I play basketball, but I love football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. I love it, and always have. And so, I was looking for the opportunities to get involved in the ownership side of soccer, just because I can't play anymore, and Lord knows I'm not going to coach. So the opportunity came up to get involved with a sleeping giant in Leeds United this summer, and I went over there twice, watched 2 matches. That's going to become home away from home for me, and it's genuinely one of the more one of the things I'm proudest of throughout my career.
I love this trend of owning little bits of international soccer. This is awesome. It also gives us a really lazy excuse to bring up an own goal and then tie it back to basketball, which we get to do with you, Larry. I love ending
we
things.
did not have to do that.
Yes, we did.
Did not have
we had to
do
end
that.
it on a
We
negative.
didn't have to do that. You're talking about the Christmas game, aren't you?
Here we
That's
go.
sick.
It happens.
That's sick. This is impressive, though.
It's a good floater
It's a
right
great
there.
tip-in.
Look at my face.
Yeah, Lou, you're there.
Like that.
Look at your face. Look at my face. I got no beard.
Yeah, right?
Oh man.
Kind of a good.
But at least that's talented though, right?
Yeah, that's a good
Like,
touch.
There you go.
Good touch.
We'll give it that.
But what's crazy is like that was rookie year, and early on, like I swore up and down, like, oh, that's it, I'm done. My career's over for sure. I can't recover from this. But it's just as a rookie, everything's so magnified, and in LA, everything is magnified. If you make a shot, you are like the next great superstar. If you miss a shot, you should have never, ever picked up a basketball in your life. Like, it is, everything's so magnified in LA. So I really, I thought I was done.
Nope. Nope. You
So
survived
thank you.
it.
Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
It's a good lesson for the kids watching, Larry. We appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Best of luck rest of the way. Happy holidays.
Nah, of course. Appreciate you guys. Good to see you all.
Woo-wee.
Run it back, run it up.
Oh, that man does have a family. Don't we all? But let's start with Miles Turner.
Oh,
And
a little
Giannis.
two-hand power up.
I like the 2-hand, 2-foot. It basically just, I don't see you, I'm dunking through you, like Larry said.
It's very rude, and I like it.
I never
we don't have
think,
to
were you
see
a
these
2-foot
courts
jumper
anymore.
or a 1-foot jumper?
I had both.
I had 0 bunnies off 2
2-foot.
feet.
I had both.
Caleb Martin.
Okay.
Oh, the
Oh,
what was he
Hey.
doing with the layup there?
Trying to get it on the glass. Get
Yeah, he was. He almost got to go to the other
Trying to throw
side.
it on the glass right quick.
I like that one. I think those are fun. It's got to be annoying, though.
I would be expecting that to happen.
Did you like
Wait,
this one?
What did he just do?
Yeah, let's watch.
He almost hurt Tice. That's what he almost
Look at
did.
it.
Oh, look. He stopped.
That's nice. That was nice.
Oh, my God.
Did he make the shot too?
And he cashed out.
you
How about
have
that?
to.
dear.
Because if you don't,
Oh, my God.
what a disappointment.
He looked out at his foot.
That's crazy.
Give me this.
Not on.
On baby Jokic.
Alperen.
It's
Alperen thing.
It's
not
baby
Alperen.
Jokic.
Look at
Respect. That's nice, isn't it?
By the way, he hit some shots last night.
Wimby
too,
had
that were
a-
outrageous.
He hits threes like I don't get it. And by the way, they only lost by 3. And I know there aren't moral victories, but that one
Hey,
is.
they're allowed to suck. They have him.
Yeah, Zuby.
Oh.
Here you go.
Zupac.
Okay, I like that.
That's his nickname.
Zupac.
I like
That
that.
was his
the
nickname.
left?
All right.
Something about a left dunk
Zucchi
just
man.
looks better. Zucchi.
Zucchi. Okay, that's some international flair in that one. And then I don't like this one at all. But all right, we'll show it anyways. AD,
This is pretty
just
nasty.
welcome to the league.
To the league moment.
It really
Gonna
is.
happen.
Yes, sir. Keep
Gonna
going,
happen.
AD. We love it. It gets the people going.
You know what though?
I'm-
They had some moments last night. These two.
AD's been showing more emotion the last week
We
than
love
I've
it.
seen.
100%. And here he is, just a return the favor, this time on Christian
Oh.
Wood.
This was nasty too.
I love it. I love it.
This is.
Chest to- chest to
These are the
back.
worst because most of the time the guy doesn't see it coming.
All right, fair enough.
They don't see it coming.
We'll be back to wrap things up after this.
Run it back,
What was it? Zucchi?
run it back, run it up, run it back.
I do love a prop party. Chandler, go. Oh my God, are you gonna die?
Oh, I'm not kidding. It's coming back. I got Steph over 28.5 and Zubats over Zucchi Man over 8.5 rebounds. Wow, I got a situation
I like
here with a cramp. I got a Charlie in the hammy. Ow!
I got Steph Curry over 30
Into
points,
injury over
and I got him 5 made 3-pointers. Look like he's gonna have to do a lot.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do everything. I have Clay and Kawhi both with the overs. I just think Clay needs to do this. That's
Totally.
the only thing.
Do it fast.
That does it for us this week. Enjoy y'all's weekends. We'll be back Monday, bright and early. See you then.
Run it back, run it up, 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 run it back.